Just more investment world hypocrisy. Don't fall for it, my friends. I love dinging the investment worlds on their green push of how sustainable they are and how much they're going to save the world. And it's all a way to separate the naivety, the people who want to be green and want to live a better, cleaner, less polluted life from their money. And frankly, it ticks me off. I'm not going to lie to you, because let me show you what I'm talking about. All right, so I get this in my email today from a Big Path Capital, and I've gotten other things from them, and I always try to ding them anytime I can, because they're using the green, what is it, the trend of green investing, just to advance a propaganda. No other way around that, because they see it. I mean, people aren't stupid. They know where the trends are. They know if the trend is over here, there can be a lot of people that can take advantage of the trend. Are these people specifically doing that? I have no idea. But at the end of the day, we know for a fact that investment firms will, if there is a trend, they're going to produce products that can exploit that trend for their own benefit. I mean, just look at the heydays of the internet money, all that. Look at the dividend growth stocks. I mean, there's so many ways that investment management firms try to exploit trends for their own benefit that it just ticks me off. And the green stuff, is sustainable investing, is just the latest cause of the day for sure. It'll be something else later on down the road. I don't know what it'll be. It might be, I don't know, Boston Bruins T-shirts or something. I mean, who knows what it'll be. There's always a trend. There's always people who like to follow the trend because it makes them feel better about themselves. And there's always going to be firms that will exploit that to separate those people who follow the trend from their money. Don't let it be you. All right. So in this case, here's Big Path Capital. I don't know these guys. I just somehow I got on their list. Who knows? And they're doing a 5-fund forum in these 4 different cities. Over 160 LPs. I don't know, maybe limited partnerships. I don't know what that is. Confirmed. And within a week's time, they're going from New York, all right, the northeast, right, down to Dallas, up to San Francisco, and all the way across country to Atlanta. So they're taking, in a week's time, they're going to go to those 4 different places. Are they taking bikes? I don't think so. And what they're going to do is an opportunity for institutional investors, family offices, investment advisors, and foundations to meet impact and sustainable equity, private equity funds. So these private equity funds are basically going out there shopping their wares for wealthy people to be able to invest in these green ideas. That way they can feel better about themselves. They might say they're going to drive a Prius to the investment, the conference, wherever it is. We'll see in Dallas. It might be right out of JFK Airport. I don't know. And they're going to say, hey, we're going to drive from Long Island down to JFK in our Prius. We feel great. We're investing in green technologies, yet the people who are promoting this are flying all over the country and certainly flown all over the world to advocate this stuff. Essentially, I don't want to say too much more than that, but it's all just it's fake. And I because what's happening here, if really sustainable investing in you want to battle climate change and we want to do more sustainable investing, why the heck can't you just do this over a conference call or WebEx or something like that, or Zoom? I mean, there's no reason for you to fly. If you truly think that climate change is the issue, and again, the scourge of all climate change is what? It's not methane. It is methane to some degree, but CO2, greenhouse gases. Methane is a big greenhouse gas, but it's nothing compared to CO2 in terms of the amounts, parts per million. So if CO2 is a scourge, why are you taking an airplane, commercial, probably, I hope it's not private for heaven's sake, I presume it's commercial flight, to fly all over the place? I mean, you can't do that. If you think CO2 is the epitome of disaster pending that's coming down here, why is it okay for you then to say, well, we're doing it because we're as pure as wind-driven snow. We got to get the word out there. No, you don't have to get the word out there by flying. You can easily get the word out there by doing technology, which is video conferencing. Why do you have to fly? And that's my pet peeve on all this stuff. Is all there's, I mean, it's just fake, and I can't stand it. I hate the fakery. Now, what they'll probably say, there's another group I dinged on LinkedIn. I said, hey, I noticed that you're coming. I think it was a Morningstar conference on sustainable investing. And this guy was bringing his whole team with him. Something like that. I can't remember. This was about a year ago. I said, and he was coming from UK, or was it even maybe, I think it was UK. I said, hey, I noticed you were coming to the UK. How you getting here? He goes, oh, yeah, we're flying into Chicago or whatever it was. I said, oh, really? Because, flying overseas like that is a pretty significant a spewing of CO2 in the atmosphere. He goes, oh, no, it's okay. We buy carbon credits or carbon offsets. And I said, I don't believe you. I'd like to see the receipt of that. And of course, he never showed it to me. And I said, are you buying carbon offsets for the entire team? Because everyone coming here is essentially creating his own carbon CO2 into the atmosphere, because if the plane doesn't sell out the seats, they're not going to fly. It's all there is to it. I mean, if they only have 2 people on a 300-person commercial jet, that's not going to fly. And if they weren't flying, it's even worse. So I said, I like to see it. And of course, he never showed it to me. And essentially, I don't even care about your stupid carbon offset, because that still means that carbon dioxide is still being spewed into the atmosphere. I mean, so if you're going to sit there and say you're living green and you're flying all over the country, all over the world to show how green you're living or how people can invest in green technologies, you can't do that. You just can't. If CO2 is a scourge, you have to get off the plane. It's literally that simple. I'm going to do we're going to hold a cruise where we're going to invite all of our wealthy people from Sierra Club to get on this cruise ship so we can tour Norway and tour the back alleys of Alaska on these cruises and talk about climate change. You can't do that. You can't. And look, am I a hypocrite? Yes, I'm a Christian and I sin like a crazy man. I completely get that. Hypocrisy, all humans are none of us are perfect. I get that. I can't stand on the investment industry when they're trying so hard to say, oh man, you can invest in us. It'll make it feel good because you're investing in green technologies. Lo and behold, I'm flying all over the country, all over the world to share with you how our investment platform can benefit you. Not your performance on your investments. No. I mean, yes, maybe, but more your feeling about yourself. It makes you feel better to invest in ways that can essentially remove our reliance on fossil fuels. A, it's not going to do that. B, there's many people who need fossil fuels to keep their standard of living or hoping to improve their standard of living. So the more the big wigs with a big mic, the Tom Steyers of the world, are denigrating fossil fuels, the less other people who don't have those big mics in India, but even in Peaks Island, Maine, who rely on fossil fuels for their comforts of living in the United States, or never mind India, just relying on fossil fuels to live basically a substandard life relative to the West. The more the Tom Steyers have their mics, the less other people do. And that's not good. It's good for Tom Steyer because he can afford photovoltaic panels. I can't. Most of you can't. There's guys in India, they don't care. They're like, I'm just trying to get by today. I just need basic sustenance to get by. So I just check about this. I just figured out. So here's the, I don't know any of these guys. SeaWorld, I don't know who these guys are, but these are sponsoring. And I'm sure they're, yeah, look at that. In our 12-year history, over 3,000 impact investors have attended our events. And that just means they've had many events at many different places and put a lot of CO2 in the atmosphere. And I don't like it. I'm going to call it hypocrisy when I see it. And that's it right there. Watch your wallets, my friends. All right, we'll see you next time.